Intrepido Jaguar, what's up?
Yo, so yeah, what the fuck is going on here?
Nigga, you haven't been here in a long time, man. What you got a
Oh
mod?
man, you actually
You,
jump up on panels?
you gotta
Yeah,
go.
I jump on panels. You didn't know
No, no,
that?
he's been here before, but like a long time ago, he was up here on the panel. We're talking about like over a year ago.
No, not necessarily. Well, yeah, probably like a year ago.
Yeah, yeah, like on the panel, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. So what's your name, Rakim? What's your problem with
Yeah.
Hispanistas? Like,
No,
why do
I'm just
you?
going off of some of the racist shit that you be saying, bro. I ain't got no problem with Hispanistas. Unlike insecure people, I don't have to look down on people to boost my people up. I just go off a lot of the racist shit that y'all say, and I attack back.
Well, we have to study your material conditions. Like, where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised on the south side of Chicago.
So you're born and raised in America. So you're obviously not gonna be able to relate with Hispanics from Latin America.
I'm not trying to. I give Hispanics their props. I respect Hispanic culture, and I big Hispanics up. But as far as trying to relate, I don't. If you mean by relate to shit on people or look at people that you feel that you are in a better position than and not really know the history, don't understand, and not even care, then that's a falsehood to me. Because anybody with real confidence and security, you don't really have to shit on groups of people. I've seen Hispanic people have their problems just like anybody else. Economic instability, poverty, like no different than anywhere else in the world. But I don't have to shit on those people to say, "Oh, I'm better than y'all because I'm here and there." Now, when the level stoops to ignorance and it becomes mudslinging, and it's about who can hurt each other more, then yeah, I'll stoop to that. But for the most part, I don't have no issues
So
with
where do you
Hispanics.
get in this? Oh, I'm better than y'all. See, this is the thing. You're born in the Anglo world. You know that, right? Like you have borders. So
Yeah, I
your
speak English.
education
Of
is
course, I
influenced
know.
by the your white savior, yellow teeth, British
See, here,
guy.
here we go. Here we go.
So
See, that's
you
what I
have to
say about
understand like
disrespect. You say a
the
white savior,
Hispanic
bro.
the Hispanic community
Like,
was born in
why would you have
15.
to say that?
Do you know how y'all? Do you know how your white savior says
See, here we go.
1776?
White savior.
We
White.
say we say
Why do you have to say
15.
that?
We say 15. No, we say 1490.
No,
14
answer my question. Answer my
1492.
question really quickly.
You
Answer
fucking
my
idiot.
question really
We say
quickly.
1492.
Yeah, you can suck a dick, bitch. I'll
200
slap the
years
fuck
before
out
you
you in real life,
existed.
boy.
So
Got fucking Hernan Cortez. You ain't even got $1 in your pocket trying to fucking relate to a fucking conquistador. Get the fuck out of here, Goofy.
no, 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 not but for real though. Yeah, we have a different history, like completely different history. Y'all are Protestant, You speak English. We're Catholic. We speak Spanish. Completely different history. We have the Jesuit organization who made it their duty to convert the indigenous and African populations into Catholicism and learn Spanish.
Convert or force.
To convert, like actually convert nicely
How do you
with
convert people
peace
outside of
and
their free
ease.
will?
Like the Jesuits were super, friendly and amicable towards the indigenous population. You know that, right? They
You said
actually
you said who was
documented their
who was more
language,
friendly
the
in
Nahuatl language. They actually documented, the indigenous languages. They recorded them in books. So like that's why we're able to learn indigenous languages in Latin America.
what indigenous
Like you
language do
can
you
learn
speak?
Nahuatl right now. You know that, right? You can learn Nahuatl. It's documented on the internet. It's like how you can learn Greek or Hebrew. You can do the same with the indigenous languages down there.
Hmm.
You cannot do that to you because your white savior yellow teeth
What
Saxon
part of the city? What part of the country are you
completely
in right now?
abolished your
You're in
Protestant
L.A.
Jesuit.
and
You're
my
a
white
version of a
and
Jesuit.
let's say my
Completely
white
abolished your
saviors, right? My
culture
white
and
saviors
just
defeated
taught you
your
Protestantism
my
and the
white
English
saviors
language.
defeated the
And
person that
now
you have on your avatar
you
because
created
L.A. is no
jazz
longer
music. You
Mexico.
created the blues, which is
L.A.
based
is
on
no longer Mexico.
sadness
I'm
and
sorry, we don't
sorrow.
ride around listening
Your
to
music
mariachi
is influenced
cars.
by sorrow
We
and
don't listen to
depression.
mariachi.
You create
Da, da,
jazz
da, da,
music,
da, 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 da,
the
da,
blues,
da, da,
jazz
da,
music, rock
da,
and roll,
da, da. We
all
don't listen to
that
that shit,
is
bro.
all that is like
We don't listen to that shit. Take
that's
that
why
shit
you
back to
have
Mexico.
all that music is influenced by sorrow, what's that word? Melancholy. Like seriously,
And you got Mexican
like
gangster
that's
rap.
why you
What is
have
corridos? You
what
got
is the
fucking
heavy
drug.
metal.
You
That's why
got
white
drug
folk that's
cartels
why white folk
rapping
started
about
creating
chopping
heavy
people's
metal
heads off in Spanish,
and
singing about chopping
goth
people's heads off
music,
in Spanish. You ain't no different,
rock
bro.
and
You're not
roll,
no better. You're
Marilyn
not no better.
Manson, Antichrist, all that shit comes from rock and roll because you guys are soulless. Your
Bro, we
whole
was the
identity has
inventors of
been
rock and roll.
abolished.
White people got rock and
Your whole
roll from
culture
us.
has been abolished.
My culture has not been
And thank God,
abolished.
Native Americans,
Y-
thank God they were
Y'all lost
genocided.
60% of Mexico from the white saviors. Y'all lost 60% of Mexico. You lost it. Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas and California is no longer Mexico. Nevada, you lost all that shit.
Thank
And we
God Native
know the
Americans were
history.
genocided because then they won't be calling me
Yeah,
brown.
yeah. We know that the
The
Spaniards had
only
a
white folk
history
and black folk
of
existed.
claiming land that they could
So,
not control or they could not patrol to take out a stake in that land, and it got taken. So miss me
well,
with
well,
the bull.
who invented rock and roll? Well, black Americans, which is influenced by the blues and jazz. Well, the blues first. The blues came first, and then jazz after, and then the acoustic music came in. So the blues. If you know the blues, their music is influenced by depression, sadness, melancholy,
Yeah, when was like the
because they were
blues?
enslaved. You guys were
Okay,
enslaved.
duh,
What?
duh. So okay, put it
Wait,
like that. I'm
pause.
So
supposed
my
to be
point
ashamed
is that the reason
that
why
we
us
were
Latinos
enslaved.
were rich of
Okay,
culture and we're rich and
Mexicans were
happy.
enslaved as well. You know that, right?
We
Do you
love
know that?
dancing, being romantic. We like flirting. We come up our
My
own
boyfriend is
flirtatious
Spanish.
ways.
He is far from romantic. So. Actually, he is a little bit
I
romantic.
have nothing to be ashamed about
So
of
yeah, we're full of
my
culture. We don't. It's
ancestors
hard for
being
us
did.
to hate white folk, to hate
I don't
our
care
white
if you
folk in our
hate.
community because
I
they
don't
love
care
us.
if you. I don't
They didn't
care.
spank
Well,
us with a whip.
I don't
They
see
didn't
white folks liking y'all here too much. I
Bro,
don't
bro,
see it.
bro, our white folk do not spank us with a whip like y'all white folk did. You know that, right?
And bro, white
I never
folk. You
got
know what
spanked
white
that
folks call y'all? You know all of the terms white people. They literally was chasing y'all back in the opposite end
Our
of the
white
border.
folk loved us. They took care of us. They gave
They
us
ain't take
mixed
care of
race
you good enough.
children
Your ass over here
so we can no
in
longer get
California, they
smallpox.
ain't take care of you good enough.
The mestizo race became immune to smallpox. You know that, right? So
And they
when
didn't take care
Mexicans
of
fought
you.
the
Yeah,
Navajos,
they
the
didn't take care
Y'all,
of
Navajos
you
will
good enough,
get
bro.
y'all were
smallpox.
immune to
We over here in the
smallpox
United
because y'all
States.
have access to vaccines at the time.
If they took care of y'all well enough, fucking Latin America wouldn't be poor.
Bro, your community is gone. Like I don't even know this FBA ADOS shit
So why do
doesn't
y'all keep coming
Bro,
over
you
here?
pointless.
hold on one second, Kira. Bro, y'all got a bunch of fucking
FBA is
tire shops and
FBA
burrito stands, and you
is
think
a
you better?
dead, archaic, obsolete fucking
Bro,
group or
you got
movement.
you got you got a bunch of burrito stands and tire shops, and you think you better. And you selling used tires is that what you
Have
got
you
from the
seen
fucking
LA? Come to the
junkyard.
West
Like,
Coast.
get out of here.
Come to Texas. Come to the Southwest, bro. Mexicans
Yeah,
are
Texas is the only
building.
place.
We're
Yeah,
building. Dude, Mexican
and you got
American women, they
how
need to
long you
like
been
y'all
building,
black
bro?
folk. Mexican women love y'all black folk, but they're starting to not listen to Drake and
I
hip
love
hop.
Mexicans. They're cool. But like,
They're
what the
going
hell
back
we
to the roots and
talking
listening to corridos.
about?
And
They're
when we
listening
think
to
about
traditional
LA,
Mexican
bro,
music.
and there's nothing wrong with that. The only reason I'm giving you shit because you're giving me shit.
And then y'all
I know I'm
black
not.
folk, if you know about the Passport Bro movement, they're like 95%, Afro-Saxon. They're openly willing
They're
to,
not
What?
95%
submit to
Afro-Saxon.
the
You know the
Latino
passport bro
community.
movement
They're
been going
willing.
You
They're
on
know,
openly
there's
way
giving
black people in
before
Spanish.
every
black
there's
people,
black
bro.
people in every country, honey.
Do
Bro,
you know how many
Afro-Saxons are
white people been
openly like
traveling
teaching
and
other Americans how
involved
to learn
in
Spanish.
all
Like,
type, bro?
like we're
You just called me.
carrying the torch that the Jesuit has given
Hold
us.
on, Intrepido. Hold on. 95% Afro Saxon.
What the
Really?
Passport Bros?
95?
Well, white
Hey,
folk bring
fighter,
it too.
and most,
I would say most
Intrepido.
of
Do you
them,
know
yeah, are
something?
black folk.
And you know what's crazy, Intrepido? You know that most it can't be
Because
ninety
I'm
five
talking about the
percent.
movement,
Most
Who was
Passport
on your
Bro.
profile
it
picture?
can't.
Is that
It
the
can't.
Spanish people that took over the Caribbean?
Hernan Cortez.
That's
That's
a
his.
conquistador.
Is that the people that
I'm
stole
not
the
sure who
island
it
from
is,
the
but it's a
Caribbean people,
conquistador.
the original people that were black? Like, who was on her profile?
Well, first of
No,
all, the black people in Latin America
Baby, I'm
were
just trying to
domestic
ask you. You
slaves.
got a profile picture of European from the
The Spanish,
1900s.
the Spanish didn't need black men. You know that, right?
The Spanish
They
took over
wanted
the
black
Caribbean
women.
island.
They wanted black women to
That's
do
why they're
domestic
a
okay,
work.
yeah,
white. That's why
you
they're a
stupid, man.
white. There's why they're a white Caribbeans, because you people, not talking about you, but your ancestors, you tried to take over our islands, and
Listen,
then
let
you
me let me hold.
there as your own.
Let me just
And
get this. Let me
the
get this.
original people of the island, they were black.
Let me just get this straight. I'm gonna just tell you like this, Intrepido. I don't know if you're over in black spaces or not,
Oh,
but
I
for the
grew up
most
around
part,
black Americans out here in LA. They gave me the N-word pass.
Oh my God.
They bowed down to me. You know,
Okay.
bow down to you,
yeah,
bro.
they
I
You
gave me
ain't
the
highly
N-word
nobody
doubt
to
a
pass.
bow
woman is
down
walking
to,
up
bro.
and bowing
Hey,
down.
listen. I'm gonna keep it real because I don't usually say this, but let me tell you something.
That's a lie.
When it comes to our charisma, when it comes to our swag and our style, and on top of that, we built different from you. You ain't nobody to bow down to, bro. I hate to bust your bubble, but it ain't nothing you can do when you match up against a black man. Just know that. That's why you mad right now. That's why you need to hold on to all of this conquistador, Hispanista, Catholic Bible shit
I
that you're
think you're
trying to.
trolling. They say you
You got a picture. Let me tell you something. You got a picture of Hernan Cortez as your avatar. I got a picture of myself. That says a
exactly.
lot.
Well, I mean, you said it yourself last stream. We're not represented in Western media, and we don't give a shit. We have our own media. You know,
You
we
say
have
that,
our
but it's a
own.
lot of Latin actresses that's crying that they not getting representation in Hollywood. So I don't know what you're saying.
The only thing we care about is that we have land and we have women. That's all
Oh
we
my
need, land and women. To leave a legacy, a house. You
God.
know,
And
a
I
community.
know you talking shit, right? Because ain't no
You know,
self-respecting person that I know over there in South Central LA or in parts of LA, which is the only reason that we know LA for black culture, not Latin culture. No, none of them is gonna bow down to you, sir. And I think you know that.
I mean,
It's easy to
what's the
fake the funk.
demographic for the United States right now? It's like 30% Hispanic and like 12% Black American.
What does that mean, baby?
By
That's
2050, we're
quantity
gonna
over
be like
quality. That's quantity over
the average
quality.
Hispanic is
If
12
it's
years old.
18 million people that don't have a backbone,
The average white
two
man is
million wolves
60
can
years
2
old.
million wolves that do have a backbone can run those 18 million sheep. So it doesn't mean anything.
Baby boomers are
It's
dying.
quality over quantity.
Dominicans have to pick a side.
Oh,
Do they want to embrace their Hispanic side or their African, Pan African side? They have to decide. And
how you feel about that,
they're gonna have to
fighter?
pick. They're gonna have to
Well,
side
they
with
don't
Mexicans because they're taking over.
even if they wanted to do that, they don't have
Because
to consult
Mexicans
that
are
with you. You
proud.
all the way on the fucking West Coast.
How you
Dominicans
feel
all
about
the
that,
way on the
fighter?
East Coast. Y'all
You
don't
just
run shit
said you
over
gotta
there.
embrace one side.
Yeah, Pan Africanism or Hispanismo.
But
Like,
what if you're both?
no, you can't choose both. You have to pick one, which is
Well, how you
Hispanismo.
feel about that, fighter?
Jose Vasconcelos, the Mexican philosopher, he said, the best indigenismo is Hispanismo, and that's true.
Okay, so fighter, are
So,
you Spanish or you black? He said
so
you gotta pick.
no, are you
Wait,
Pan African? I'm not saying you can't identify as black. I'm
who
saying,
said
are you
that?
Pan African?
He just said you gotta pick. You
But
can't be both.
you
That's
said
what
that you
this ain't
said.
coming out. He said you
Oh
gotta pick.
my god.
Are you Pan
Who,
African? Wait, I don't think
who,
Fighter's Pan African. Anyways,
Oh my God, he's
he's proud to be
Dominican.
Dominican. Like,
Yes, but he's
So
Spanish and black.
no,
being like,
well, yeah,
look,
he's black. I'm not saying he's not black. I'm just saying
But
like
he's also Spanish.
I'm just saying that he's not Pan
it ain't even
African.
about being Pan African. It's about respecting and having respect for your heritage and where you come from and your descendants. My descendants comes from
But
Africa. I'm
Dominicans
not
call you Cocolo, you know that, right? They
some
make
may
the
be, yeah.
distinction that
Some may
you were
be.
colonized by the English. You're a fucking Cocolo.
Some of them may be,
Shut
yeah.
your bitch ass up. You're a Cocolo.